All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays, coming to you live from Venice Beach, California. I'll be here one more day, and then it's off to Cancun, Mexico. This will be my first time at Satoshi Roundtable. I'll be joined there by Willie Wu, who is actually upstairs. And we'll see. Maybe we'll get him down here for a few minutes. Had the nice meetup last night. Followed by an awesome steak dinner. Thank you so much, guys, for organizing that. I met some very interesting people. I had a really good time. So thank you, LA Bitcoin community, for for coming out last night to the meetup. All right, let's go to screen share and take a look at what's going on in the markets. We're beginning today with the update on the coronavirus. So this was the last time I took a look at this website with 24,000 infected. We refreshed this website live on air, and it jumped from 20,000 to 24,000, and that kind of freaked me out. Like a 20% rise in infections in about a day and a half of the refresh. It's been about a day and a half since I refreshed this site, definitely not more than 2 days. So let's go ahead and refresh it, and we'll see what the percentage is. If this thing is over 30,000, again, that is a serious concern to the point where after the Satoshi Roundtable and Unconfiscatable, I'll be flying, but like on this side of the world, don't think I'm going to be going to this side of the world. I'll go over to Africa. That's still my plan. So basically, I wasn't going to go back to Asia until June, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's refresh and see where we are. I don't want to see that number above 30,000. Well, it's not over 30,000, so it's so it's not as a little less concerning. As long as the acceleration is slowing down, that's what's really important. Obviously, you know, lots of lying was happening in the early stages of how many are actually infected, but this is one of the better resources we have, so we will stick to it. Let's go take a look at the west side of the world. All right, not too bad. I am currently in Los Angeles, and we do have a couple of cases here. I don't think anyone died yet, so. And Latin America seems to be pretty clean. All right, let's go to the charts. All right, I'm gonna have to charge my computer here in a minute. All right, weekly chart. Let's take a look. Price is still rising. The weekly chart, according to sequential, remains bullish, and it's been bullish for quite some time. We are now at resistance. This is the downward sloping resistance line, the trend line, and a Fibonacci line. Now, this Fibonacci line is pretty important. Look at what happened the last time we fell below 10,000 and we crashed hard. We then tried to rally and could not break this Fibonacci line, and now we're rallying again. So this time around, the sequential is on your side for more upside. So the weekly chart remains bullish, but you have to be careful here because you are sitting at resistance. I would rather buy Bitcoin at 10,200 than buying it here at 9,800, because that 10,200 means it's above resistance. That's the weekly chart. Hey guys, Unconfiscatable is only about 2 weeks away. Unconfiscatable is 2 weeks away. It's going to be great. Las Vegas, check it out. Awesome speakers. The financial summit is taking place in April in the Dominican Republic, and Bali in November. And of course, Understanding Bitcoin will take place in May. Plugs there. All right, the daily chart has played out pretty much as expected. This is my latest set of arrows, and the latest set of arrows would indicate that I have been bullish this market ever since we broke above the daily level of resistance, being the 200 simple day moving average. Once we broke above that, it pretty much became bullish. I was looking for a pullback back to the moving average. It came up a little bit shy of that, but general view is pretty clean. We now had a green 2 go above a green 1 on a daily, but 10,000 is resistance. It's also resistance on a daily chart. It's a similar Fibonacci line. And but the weekly chart has more critical resistance. And we'll see where it goes from here. It is, of course, rising a little too fast, a little too much, just like it happened back in early summer. And that was followed by a 6-month correction. We obviously have not gone up as fast and as much as we did early in 2019. But whenever the markets go up this fast, pullbacks could also be severe. We've now spent sufficient time above the 200-day moving average, and you can see the 200-day moving average is starting to flatten out. The daily, of course, does not become a full bull market unless all the moving averages are above each other and they're all rising. Right now, that is not yet the case. You need the short-term moving average to get above the long-term, and then you need the intermediate moving average to get above the long-term. Right now, that isn't so. Okay. Bitcoin continues to play tricks with the moving averages by not getting rejected at any point, not the 50, not the 128, and not the 200. It got rejected, the first time, but then a few weeks later, it just broke above it. That is not what usually happens. Usually in downtrends, the moving averages do play a much more significant role and reject the price further. This does prove that Bitcoin is pretty resilient and pretty bullish by being able to break these moving averages. Lower level time frames are really interesting. I want to go take a look at Tesla. I haven't looked at Tesla at all since my last video breaking down Tesla. One of my friends tweeted at me saying that the Chinese plant of Tesla got shut down due to the coronavirus, and the stock kind of fell. So we'll go and take a look at that. Of course, GBTC will be rising since the price is rising, and the premium is back to 25%. Bitcoin dominance continues to fall. I think this is a very bad sign for Bitcoin adoption. Every time the price starts to become bullish, fundamentally it becomes less bullish to me. Like, I want my fundamentals to be in line with my technicals. Right now, the technicals to me are almost on the verge of being a bull market, but this is a fundamental indicator to me. And by shitcoins outperforming Bitcoin for the short term, that creates a huge fundamental flaw in Bitcoin, in that as long as shitcoins are back on the rise, no merchant is going to start accepting Bitcoin because there's lots of confusion as to which Bitcoin to accept. So fundamentally, that's not good. I heard the halving got moved up. Let me find out. Bitcoin halving clock. Let's see what's going on here. So 12th of May. No, it hasn't been moved up by that much. So we're looking at 12th of May for the Bitcoin halving. I thought it got pushed up as far as almost April, but I guess that's not the case. 12th of May it is. Let's where were we here? Yeah, you can see the shitcoins outperforming Bitcoin. I'm not gonna use this year. I mean, this year, I mean, not enough data, but we can go back, a year and a month. So we can go back to early like the start of 2019, and we can see that now we have 3 shitcoins that have outperformed Bitcoin since the start of 2019. With the leader looks like the Binance scam coin, followed by the fork of the fake Bitcoin being BSV, followed by the fake Bitcoin original fork being BCH. So all 3 of them have outperformed Bitcoin over the last 11 months, sorry, 13 months. And as long as that is happening, that is not good fundamentally, because people get confused and they buy into the wrong Bitcoin, and then they want nothing to do with the crypto space. So when they get scammed into buying a fake Bitcoin. So to me, that's problematic. I just can't envision a massive Bitcoin adoption until people actually, understand what is Bitcoin and what's a scam. Gold, not really interesting. I wouldn't. Gold's neutral. I would not have a gold position at the moment. If I had a bullish position, I would have sold it on this 9 and or this 9, and I would wait for gold to be above this blue line. I would wait for gold to go above 1590 before I enter another bullish position in gold, or a more significant pullback would get me into gold at a lower price. But at these prices, I would just wait. But that's me. You guys are responsible for your own decisions. Oil's not looking good, and I think with the coronavirus, people will be flying less. I know I am interested in flying less, and I fly a lot. So, not that me not flying lowers the price of oil or the price of an airline, but I'm just saying, like, if avid travelers like myself are considering, being a little more cautious with the whole coronavirus thing, others are as well. So you have to keep that in account. So I can definitely see oil going lower. If oil falls below the setup trend line, it's in trouble. This is the weekly sequential, and it's only at a 5. Yes, it's a reversal candle, but there's clearly more downside. I want to see the daily. Let's see if the daily is anywhere near a 9. Oh, there it is. There was a 9 a few days ago. Probably, a good area to take profit from your short trade. And I don't know if I would enter the long trade, but I would certainly take profit from the short trade. This is, oh, whoa, S&P 500 is at a new all-time high? When the hell did that happen? Holy shit. I mean, I've always been a stock market bull, so that's not surprising to me. It's a little surprising considering the atmosphere, but yeah, I'm all systems go. I mean, bullish. A green 2 above a green 1. This is a very extended 1 candle. I don't like entering on 2s above 1s when a 1 candle is that huge, but it is what it is, and the markets are bullish, so you got to be bullish. See, this is the difference. I've been an S&P 500 bull in forever because it's been at all-time highs in forever, and Bitcoin is still 50% down from its all-time high. So that's why I'm still cautious on being bullish on Bitcoin. Let me see Tesla. Oh, there goes Amazon. I forgot what I said about Amazon last time I talked about it, but yeah, Amazon beat earnings nicely. And yeah, I'd be bullish right here. I think Amazon is going to go to like 3,000 or something. Like, very bullish. All right, let's look at Tesla. Where's Tesla? I haven't looked at Tesla since the last time you guys watched me live. There it is. Let's see what's going on. So, yeah, remember what I said, that Tesla can still make a 9. I think markets are still open. And Tesla can still get you a 9. And that's what I said. And I also said the top is probably in. And we'll see if we get a 9. It's going to be challenging to get a 9. So tomorrow, we would need a close above $780. We traded above $780 today, so a close tomorrow above $780 is very reasonable. The challenge is going to be a close above $887 on Monday, and that's going to be a challenge. But as long as it trades even one tick above 887.06, we get a quasi 9. But the top is certainly in. The question is, how big is the pullback, and is the pullback already in? And I don't know, and nobody else does either. So I would wait. I would not rush into Tesla either way. I would wait till at least Monday to see how the sequential plays out. At the least, I anticipate Tesla to pull back to the 20-period moving average. Most likely, it will pull back to the $550 area or the $500 vicinity. And it is also pretty likely at some point Tesla is going to pull back to this. I guess this is a hyperwave line, hyperwave-ish trend line. It was hard for me to draw a hyperwave on Tesla. I still think Tesla is going to be one of the biggest companies in the space. See, what people don't realize is it really doesn't matter how much money Tesla is making. No one is buying Tesla stock based on how much money Tesla is making. Everyone is buying Tesla stock based on how much money they will be making in 10 years. This is why when people say fundamentally Tesla is shit, that's not what drives the value of a company like Tesla. What drives the value of a company like Tesla is Elon Musk's vision and investors believing that Elon Musk can accomplish his vision in the future. This is why when a price jumps on earnings, sure, it has a little bit to do with what happened in the prior quarter, but it mostly has to do what does this current earnings report say about Tesla 5 years from now? And that's what people are buying the stock on. It's on the future expectation. Has nothing to do with current valuation. All right, let me see if you guys got anything in the live chat. In the meantime, hey, if you guys want to support, please check out Vays affiliates. This is where you could support this free content by using these links to sign up for TradingView or VPN service or Bitcoin debit card if you're going to be buying airline tickets with Bitcoin, or trading. If you're a trader, go ahead. These LVL and eToro are US compliant. Bybit and Deribit are for non-US citizens, and for other, check their list of approved countries. Social trading through Three Commas. Kraken is there as well, and so are others. If you want to buy a miner, check out Blockforge. All right. If you want to read some good blogs, check out Unconfiscatable. This was a great write-up. Bitcoin obsoletes all other money, including all shit coins. And of course, check out Jimmy Song's very good write-ups, also why altcoins will basically die. All right, let me see what you guys got in the live chat. Daily RSI on Bitcoin. Yeah, we can take a look at that. The daily RSI looks still pretty good. We're still upwards trending. We have not yet gone into overbought territory. So the daily RSI certainly has room. This is what the daily RSI goes to. So you can see how we had this uptrend and we broke into overbought, and then we got to it 1, 2, 3, 4 additional times. This was back in February, early in the year, then April, then May, and then finally June. So the RSI certainly has lots of room to the upside. The MACD is still bullish, and it can also break out. The MACD is bullish as well. The CMF is certainly bullish. This is the concern. This is the BitMax funding rate. And yeah, this certainly favors the bears. So the last time the BitMax funding rate was this high was back in August. So let's see what the chart looked like back in early August. So there it is. Boom. See, the last time the BitMax funding rate and the spread between futures and spot was this strong was back here. And look what happened. We corrected quite heavily. Ultimately corrected down to, was that the low? Yeah, we ultimately corrected 46% from there. Okay, so that's quite significant. All right, so that is definitely a screaming caution flag. Not to mention how long we've been on the positive BitMax funding rate with a very ambitious spread of bullishness. So this is a big concern and favors the bears significantly. And well, that's basically the same thing, though it looks very different. It's supposed to be the same thing. They're not in sync, obviously. All right, let's see if there's anything else in the live chat. Tesla weekly 9. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. I'm looking at the daily chart here. We talked about the weekly chart of Tesla. And the sequential certainly didn't lie. This is a weekly 9 on Tesla with the sequential. So, I mean, did you short the first tick of the week, or did you short right at the top? Right. I mean, the dime doesn't tell you when within the candle to best short. That's why you have to go through the lower level timeframes. Can you recommend the GBTC premium indicator? No, that's my own custom built GBTC premium indicator. Will I make that public one day? Maybe when I have time to make it public. I just been too busy, and we still, my developer still has to tweak it a little bit. Like, I'm not going to release an indicator that's public if it isn't like perfect, or at least perfect. If I know that indicator still needs some work, I'm never going to release it because then people are going to complain. So this is my own custom built one. It's actually not as easy as it sounds. There's some data that's not easy to get the right. Anyway, it's a little challenging the way I also built it. Like I have to make a whole explanation video. It's just not easy. That's all I'll tell you. Yeah, I mean, you can do it. It's not that hard, but if you really want it accurate, it's not simple. Tone, do you think we are in a bull trap? Look, I do, but you stay with the trend. The weekly went bullish, the daily went bullish. If I was in a Bitcoin trade right now, I would be in a bullish trade, but I would be very, very cautious because you saw the BitMax funding rate and you saw what happened the last time it was this high, fell 50%. So you gotta use some judgment, and technically we're still lower than the prior swing high, at least based on intraday numbers. Is the decline of Bitcoin from 14K a fractal of the decline from 20K? I believe that it is. I strongly believe that it is. Let's go to the weekly chart. Basically, this run up was shorter than the prior run up into 20,000. It ended smaller. I mean, this big run up to 20,000 did not catch me by surprise. I was a bull the entire way, almost the entire way. I got cautious around early November, and it topped mid-December. And to me, this is looking like a fractal from here, and this is a fractal of this. So this is why I need a new swing high. This is why I need to see Bitcoin above 12,000 before breaking this kind of pattern. Now, I will say that this latest low did not go lower than the prior low, so we do have a higher swing low. I thought we would come down over to the 200-week moving average. We did not. I still think Bitcoin has a high probability of hitting that 200-week moving average. I know Willy Woo does not. So we'll see what happens. All right, Skip, let's see what you wrote. How much do you think the overweight repurchase market is contributing to the rise in the stock market? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. Look, it's irrelevant to me why the market is rising. I always expected the stock market to rise. We know about the plunge protection team. We know about the Federal Reserve. We know about the money printing. So we know the stock market is incentivized to rise. I don't really care that companies are buying back their stock. If the companies are buying back their stock, what it tells me is the companies don't have anything better to do with the money, so they're buying back their stock. When they find something better to do with the money, they will sell that stock and put that money to research and to R&D, research and development. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. TA tells me to be long the market, has been telling me that for the last 7 years. So I've been screaming long, 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 long. Can you explain why BitMEX funding rate matters? Sure. It's very simple. It means that people are over bullish. It means that too many people are on one side of the trade. And when too many people are on one side of the trade, eventually you run out of, new money. You have to like keep paying to enter the long trade. And eventually that runs out. You run out of buyers. So that's why it matters. It just shows you that people are over rationally bullish. Do you think Bitcoin halving price is in? There would be a sell-off after the halving. There could be a sell-off before the halving. I've mentioned this earlier. We can certainly have a sell-off before the halving and one more pump into the halving. We are still too far away from the halving to evaluate whether it will top before the halving or at the halving. Tone, do you see a giant symmetrical triangle on Bitcoin weekly going back to March of 2017 as the low? Wow, that's a really big triangle. Not really. I don't like these kinds of triangles. I wouldn't use the March 2017. I wouldn't use that. I mean, I need 3 points to draw my triangle, and I only have 2 points. Well, I have a third point now. But then I would have to connect this point to this point, and it wouldn't be very symmetric. This is way steeper. So I don't see any symmetric triangles. Do you trade Bitcoin on the CME chart? It seems so much cleaner and easier to trade. I don't trade the CME. Well, I don't trade because I'm constantly on airplanes. Next year I'll trade. Would I trade the CME chart? I don't know. And the reason is if CME, do I even have it open? Thought I had the CME chart. Here it is. Would I trade the CME chart? I don't like to trade CME Bitcoin because it's closed on the weekends. So that's concerning to me. This is the daily CME. Gaps don't seem to be that bad. We closed this one, kind of. It's bullish. Is it cleaner? I guess, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I haven't thought about it. I'd rather trade the CME chart because I don't put my Bitcoin at risk. It solves my other problem. The reason I don't trade Bitcoin is because I don't like to give up my private keys. But I can certainly trade the CME chart. It just needs to start trading 24/7. And then I would be more than happy to trade. What are your thoughts about the 20-week moving average crossover? The 6-week, I don't care about the 6-week. 20-week versus 50-week. I guess 50-week is, yeah, no, I don't care about the 6-week moving average, guys. I think I used to have the 7-week moving average on, but I removed that. I didn't see it being very useful. Understanding BTC, is it going to be 4 days? So if you look at last year's agenda, I mean, you can see what the agenda was, right? So the agenda was actually just 2 days. So this year is going to be similar. The actual conference is 2 days, but there'll be a beginner day. So May 28th is going to be a beginner day. It's like how to use a cold card, how to use an open dime. So it's like how to set up a Bitcoin node, why to set up a Bitcoin node. So the 28th is a straight up beginner day. If you're not a true beginner, you probably don't have to be there for that. Then we have 2 full days. And then the last day is an open floor day. That's when you show up with your laptop and the core developers will be there to help you, with whatever you need. So, well, maybe not whatever you need, but whatever they can help you with. So that's when on the 31st, you show up with your laptop, you walk up to a Lightning expert and say, hey, can you please help me set up my Lightning wallet on my computer? So that's what that last day is for. We'll release the full agenda soon. Tone, can you talk more about the countdown numbers as you seldom mention them? Yeah, I mean, this is what my educational videos are for. You can also just, Google about, Tom DeMark's view on the sequential. I can mention it a little bit more. Let me see if there's any other questions. Pinterest. Yeah, I can take a look at Pinterest. Let me see. Where's the ticker for Pinterest? Oh, what about fake meat? Let's look at fake meat. Weekly on a 5. Hey, daily on a 9. So here's a 9. So I guess I can mention the countdown numbers. So once this 9 started trading higher, you can enter this trade and trade the countdown. And We are in 3 of 13 on the countdown, so you're still waiting for that 13 exhaustion sell. So I would be more bullish than bearish here with the fake meat. Pinterest, the ticker. Thought I had it saved, but maybe I don't. Oh, there it is, pins. Oh, this looks good. I like it. Look, it's holding the moving average. It just closed on a daily 1. So a green 2 above a green 1 at the top of consolidation makes me bullish. You have new resistance coming up right here at the 200-day moving average. But Pinterest looks bullish to me here. And you're still in the countdown phase. 5 looking for 13. Earnings is here. So I don't know if they reported already or not. So wait. Earnings is today. I don't know if it was this morning or it's going to take place soon. So if earnings has not yet been announced, then everything I just said, ignore it. I would not be in this trade during earnings. But if earnings took place this morning, and this is the reaction to earnings during the day today, which I doubt, my guess is earnings is tonight. So Yahoo Finance. When is earnings? Before the close or after the close? Earnings date. Yeah, but it doesn't say if it's before or after. So I don't know. Ahead of earnings. Okay, so earnings hasn't been announced yet. So ask me tomorrow. Like it can fall 20%, it can go up 20%. So it's the chart's bullish, but the chart's irrelevant because it's the day before earnings. Thank you. Check your 6 for the comment. Tone, trading 24/7 could be very taxing mentally. I agree. This is why I hate trading crypto, and I hate trading gold, and I hate trading oil. I used to trade those, by the way. I prefer trading stocks because they're only open 7 hours, 5 days a week. The problem is with Bitcoin, I can't trade an asset that actually trades 24/7, but you can only trade it 5 days a week. So that's the problem. I wish Bitcoin only traded 7 hours a day. I wish everyone around the world would only trade Bitcoin 7 hours a day, like stock market. But what I want doesn't have to happen. Therefore, it's if an asset trades 24/7, I need the ability to enter and exit 24/7. Which is why when I go back to trading, 99% of my trading will be done in the stock market because I like to sleep at night. Thank you for the support, JR. Much appreciated. What do you think about XRP and Ethereum? I try not to think about XRP and Ethereum. I try to retain my brain cells. Do you expect a pullback for Twitter after the pop today? Oh yeah, Twitter reported good earnings, I heard. Let me see. Well, am I expecting a pullback? Yes. Does the pullback have to happen tomorrow? The answer is no. That is a very good earnings reaction. So, and this is why you don't want to hold anything through earnings. I mean, sequential told you to be long, but this could have crashed. You have a sequential 13 coming in tomorrow, but you are bullish once again. I wouldn't touch it right now. That's a big move. It can certainly pull back and still be bullish. I would stay away from Twitter until a cleaner direction shows up. I tell you what, gaps like this make me miss trading again because my specialty is high flying NASDAQ for earnings with my option plays. It was interesting, more around how much importance you give the countdown numbers as they approach 13, like Tesla on a green 11 and GoPro on a 12, for example. Yeah, it's hard for me to talk about everything. These podcasts are already too long. So let's look at GoPro. I certainly pay more attention to the setup than I do the countdown, but that doesn't mean the countdown should be ignored. One of these days I'll make my TD sequential, educational videos public. So one day, I don't know when that will be, but one day. I've made trades with eToro. Each time I lost money because trades opened half a minute late at the top and hit the stop loss. If the exchange you're using is screwing you, don't use that exchange. Go to another exchange. But eToro is regulated and open to U.S. market, so they have a little bit of a monopoly there, don't they? I don't know how the Bitcoin halving will affect the price because it's so far away, relatively speaking. So we'll have to follow up on that later. AMC Theaters. Interesting. I don't think I've ever looked at that stock. Not recently, anyway. AMC. Wow. I guess no one's going to watch movies anymore. That's wow. Whoa. See, that's a rare. It's not that rare, actually. This is a double top, but it's so many years removed that it's not that many years, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't expect this. Like, I would expect this to go higher at this point. Beautiful 9 combo 13 at the bottom here with a sequential 13 here. Another 9 13 here. See, you have a 9 13 on the same candle. The market doesn't bounce immediately, but a few days later it does, and goes up 33% from there, and it's up 43% from the low. I mean, that's certainly tradable. And now you have another 9 13, and I would be, a stock could only fall so much. You are at the 9 13 closed the day at $6.46. If I saw this in real time, and this is why we're building the notification service, which is currently free, you can sign up for, but I don't think AMC is on our stock list, but it certainly will be once we have an automated service. This is the kind of trade I wouldn't mind taking, swinging for the fences, right? There's really not much to lose here. It's a $6 stock. Now, what's the worst that can happen? It, falls another dollar or two. And low risk, low risk buy, high risk short, if you can even short a $7 stock. I mean, it's overall bearish. It looks like it's going to go to zero, but it probably won't. So yeah, it can certainly rise 20-30% before assuming you go lower. Earnings is coming, and the stock can only fall for so far for so long. Normally I say don't hold through earnings, but I would risk a small position on this through earnings. I wouldn't care. $6 stock gave me a 9 13, gave me a reason to buy. Tomorrow, green 2 above a green 1 potentially gets me in this trade, still under $7. So yeah, I'm leaning bullish here. I have space. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks like it's ready to top next week. 9's coming. You probably want to get out. Oh, you should have got out right there. I would have got out right there. And if you didn't get out right there, I would have got out right here. Sequential 13. The sequential 13 I pay attention to. So yeah, I would not be long here. And 9 is coming next week on a weekly. So if I was a swing trader, I would be out of this trade already. Would I short it? No, it's too bullish. Let's look at some of those airlines. Let's look at Boeing. What's Boeing? Is it BA? Yeah. Oh, look at that. Boeing's rising. Interesting. Well, that's not really an airline. That's like an airplane maker. Let's look at an airline. Let's look at, well, those are the US airlines, right? Is Cathay Pacific publicly traded? How do you spell that? I don't know. I need airlines. Look at United. Airlines starting to rebound here. Oh, a beautiful 9 right there. Would I have taken a chance with the coronavirus on the 9? I don't know. Probably not. I don't like this bearish engulfing candle. Probably has another leg down to go with just a rebound off of oversold. We'll see. Risky trades. Let me see how Zoom's doing. Feel with the coronavirus, there'll be more conference calls. Yep, Zoom's doing good. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Because if people fly less, they're going to be looking to do more teleconferencing. All right, guys, I think I'm ready to call it a day. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please support through the affiliate codes and also come to Unconfiscatable, the financial summit, or Understanding Bitcoin. You can check out last year's videos. All right, guys, that's it for me. Off to Cancun tomorrow morning for Satoshi Roundtable, my first one alongside Willy Woo, and hopefully another Bitcoiner or two will be there. We'll find out. And I will talk to you all on the next one, guys. Bye. Good luck trading.